The Assault class's technique makes you a walking tank, and even encourages you to go in and get loads of kills. By getting kills and dealing damage to drones, you'll be able to fill up the gauge bar shown in the bottom left of your screen. This allows the ability to use the Assault technique True Grit. Kills will extend the duration of the technique and will also heal your character. Moments like this won't happen as often due to your recoil being reduced and the damage resistance increased. In addition to this, True Grit is not only great for PvE, but it is also amazing for PvP usage. Within Breakpoint, weapons and gear have levels. This is an optional choice that can be altered at the start of creating a character or throughout the game to make your own experience within Breakpoint. Your gear level is determined by simply drawing up the average level of all the equipment that you've got equipped currently. And take note that choosing only one weapon won't impact your score. The ways in that you can collect gear with levels is through chests scattered across the world. You could also find them via Maria's shop within Auroa, or whether you have it set so that you can open Maria's shop within Bivouacs. Within the shop you can either buy weapons or gear, in that all have different gear levels. Another way is by neutralizing enemies too. Enemies will sometimes drop items, whether it will be high level gear or low level gear. Lastly is blueprints. These are scattered across the map, and you can go to Maria's shop and buy specific weapons with levels that are matching your load. Fast tuning is the ability to change accessories on your weapon, and this is a fundamental to surviving battles against the Sentinel and Wolves in Breakpoint. By aiming down your sights, you have the ability to change 4 different settings on your weapon. These are the suppressor, underbarrel, crosshairs and selective fire. The suppressor can be changed while aiming down your sights or not. Knowing this allows you to make stealth kills or get the most out of the damage for your weapon. The underbarrel icon doesn't show up unless you have lights of a grenade launcher equipped. Knowing that you have one of these can be the difference between life or death. The crosshairs is another changeable feature and is different depending on what scope you have equipped. From short to long scope reticles, you can adapt to the situation that you are in. And lastly is selective fire. From single shot, small bursts and all out chaos, selective fire allows you to adapt to the harshness of Auroa and conserve your ammo in tight combat. Using a silencer allows you to engage enemies without alerting everyone around you. It will allow you to stay concealed when taking shots, assuming you are out of enemy view. You can add and remove the silencer at any time, though this does come at a cost. You'll be sacrificing some range on your weapons as well as some damage, therefore each shot you make will have to count. You'll want to make sure you're aiming for the head and getting up close to your targets so you can drop them quickly before they call out for help. However, there are some times that you might want to take off your silencer, and therefore you are able to remove the silencer at any time and be back to causing havoc around Auroa. In Breakpoint, leaning and aiming around corners will give you extra protection from incoming fire. Luckily, this is really easy to do and will give you a combat advantage against Sentinel, Wolves and within PvP against other ghosts. Using cover either standing or crouching will protect you from any incoming fire or from being detected. So knowing how to lean and aim over the cover when required is vital to surviving when you are either fighting close or long distance combat. When in cover, arrows appear to show where you can peer over the cover. When these show, you can peer over by pushing your character into the cover, which gives you a more broader view of the environment around you. Alternatively, you can aim around or over covers too when these arrows appear, giving you the chance to deal damage or drop an enemy and quickly retreat without taking a hit. Knowing how to switch shoulders in Breakpoint is quite important when sneaking past or taking out loads of enemies on Auroa. When walking into cover, your character will automatically switch to the shoulder that is going to give you the most vision. You can change the shoulder in which the camera is peering over by pressing R1, RB, or the middle mouse button depending on what platform you are playing on. You aren't limited to your character being in cover though. You can always do this when roaming around. This will allow you to get a wider view of what you're exploring and give a more tactical approach to peering around cover. Mines are available to use from the beginning of the game in Breakpoint and can be tactically used to your own advantage in different scenarios. From wanting to destroy convoys or having an emergency backup plan for if things go south, the mine is an explosive that you'll need. It will detonate automatically when an enemy or vehicle moves over it, and thanks to the handy explosive Mark II perk, you can unlock an improved version of the mine and that will provide much greater range and damage. So keep the mine in mind when you are desperately needing Plan B. From enemies standing guard to patrols that are scouting out their next battle, your enemies are always looking for you, and the diversion lure could be your best bet to either sneaking past or taking out your foes. By throwing down the diversion lure, it will make the enemy suspicious and want to check it out without triggering an alert state, making it a great way in that you can move enemies to where you want them without causing a huge disturbance. You can use this non-alert state to your own advantage by either going in for a CQC or using it in an emergency situation where you need to make a quick escape when you're under the radar. The C4 is a familiar plastic explosive in that can be used within Breakpoint. It can be thrown to blow up vehicles, to take out enemies, and even to create a quick diversion. Initiated by your detonation device you're able to take out enemies quickly and at ease. Excluding the rocket launcher, the Mark I version of the C4 is a gadget that deals the most damage in Breakpoint and it's available at the start of the game. Though thanks to the Explosives Mark II ability, in that it's possible to get in the perks menu, you can get an improved version of the C4 and that deals the most damage within the game and has an even larger explosive radius. The Flashbang is an optional gadget that you can use, giving you approximately 5 seconds to strategically kill your enemies while they are blind. This is a throwable item allowing for short and long distance combat. In PvP you might be in an emergency due to your enemies sneaking up on you, and therefore throwing down a flashbang may be your best shot to taking out the enemy swiftly. Alternatively, you may want an easy way of clearing a room, and therefore throwing the flashbang through windows or doorways to quickly blind your enemies and take them out could be your best option.